Hey Brendan, back in the PFL playoffs. How does it feel?
Fantastic. This year's going great. Couldn't have gone any better, really. So, long may it continue.
So no secret that this is your revenge tour. You know, you lost in the playoffs last year when you were going for your second championship. How does it feel to finally just, you got through the regular season. You're back where you need to be to get here. You have 2 fights ahead of you till you win that championship again. What is your mindset going into this fight?
I didn't lose in the playoff last year. I lost in the
regular season.
earlier ones. But I have lost in the playoffs before against Movlid. So I've been here before. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been there where I've won it and I've lost it. And I know what I prefer. And I know the way this preparation's gone, the way this season's gone. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very, very positive about tomorrow, Friday night.
So you just hit 17 years with your coach, Tony Musa.
Yes.
How does it feel to have gone through this journey together?
Amazing. It's great to have him back as well. He's missed a couple of fights, a few health reasons, but now he's back travelling. So it's perfect. I mean, it feels great. It feels great to have him back in my corner, and it makes a world of difference.
So you went back to Manchester for this camp. What was that thought process of going back to your roots?
Great. Perfect. Glad to go home, see my family, see my mum, see my dog. Not seen them all year. I was away for 7 months. And it was nice to be back with Tony and, like I say, my family and stuff. And yeah, I've had a great camp.
So recently, you've been on a bit of a trend of giving back to the community. So what made your mindset think like I want to give back to the people that supported me when I was coming up?
I've been wanting to do something for a while, and I feel like martial arts is, that is what I do. And I feel like I was in a place where I eat locally, like the local food spot, and they was like donating food to this youth club near mine. And then I heard them over speaking about this youth club, and I was like, oh, I used to go to that youth club. So I kind of wanted to start something, went down there, had a meeting, they were like, yeah, martial arts. So I started teaching the kids, and now I'll put something in place where they'll get martial arts training now for the rest of the year. PFL got involved, they helped out. My sponsor, Star Pro, they donated 25 sets of gloves. And just trying to start something up, you know what I mean? Let's just see where it goes.
So your cardio is always a big thing for you. That's always something you want to be better at than everyone else. Looking at the other featherweights in the tournament this year, do you feel like you have a serious edge in cardio over those guys?
I mean, I always say numbers speak for themselves. If anyone's got a lower resting heart rate than 30, show me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That was pretty insane. You posted that the other day. That caused up some controversy. Are you okay? Like, you're healthy?
I think I'm all right, yeah.
All right, good. Just
hope so, anyway.
Thank you. That's it.
Am I done? Great.
When you said you were back home recently, does that mean you were home for the Euros?
I was home for the Euros, yeah.
Devastated, or?
I was actually going to go to the final as well. It was like all the lads went and they were like, you come in, and I just couldn't get the time out of training, but I did watch it in Manchester. Do you know what? The better team won, let's be honest. So you can't be mad at it.
Yeah, there's always a next couple of years. A great time to be a PFL athlete. Just this week we got Francis and Jake in town. Definitely you're one of the names along those sort of flying the flag for the PFL. So yeah, just talk to me about the situation PFL find themselves in at the moment.
Picture the what? The
just,
PFL?
I mean, essentially just.
Can't even hear you, you know. Is it?
Can you hear me now? Is it?
Yeah,
thing,
Yeah.
I'll give it a go. Basically, just saying. I mean, Jake's in the PFL now. You got Francis coming in.
Yeah.
You're one of the top names with them alongside them. So it's probably a good time to be you and be a PFL fighter.
Yeah, of course. Don't forget, I joined this company 5 years ago. None of you people was even here. You know what I mean? Like, I was the origin to the company, and I've watched it grow. Francis and Jake and everyone, myself. Kayla's now moved on to do great things. She was there, Dakota, you name it. It's a great time to be a PFL fighter, and I'm proud of the company, man. Well done, PFL. They've done exactly what they said they were going to do when I joined the company. We're going to do this, and this, they said. And guess what? Pete did this, and this, so respect.
Yeah, and we've got that supercar coming up in October. The word on the street is that they're going to try and do a couple of those a year. Would that potentially tempt you away from the season if you could get on a couple of these big pay-per-view cards that are potentially lined up?
Yeah, stop ringing me about tournaments. I don't know why they keep ringing me with tournaments. They're like, yeah, Brendan will do the tournament. I'm like, leave me alone with tournaments after this year, please. Just let me on a few of them cards. Let me chill. because I am in the thick of it again.
Yeah, because you've got some big names coming over. Obviously, the merge with Bellator. We've had other guys come from other organisations, so probably some decent names for you to get in the mix with.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to take this into consideration with the PFL tournament, right? You essentially start in January because you start your pre-camp, then you fight in April, then you finish it end of November, last week of November, so that's December. So you get December off. So you get 1 month a year off in 5 years. I've been here 5 years, so it's like you win the belt in the UFC, you hold it 6 months, walk around, do a tour with it, take loads of pictures. PFL 1 month later, you're back training to defend the thing, and then they say defend it. It's like, what? Do you lose it the next day? Are you not the champion anymore the next day? Like another tournament? It's like, it's hard. It's really hard, really, really hard. And I found my feet in here. I feel like I'm a tournament fighter now, and I feel like I couldn't go back to conventional fighting. I'll moan about it, but I think I've really measured myself, and I know how to do the tournament structures now. Weight cuts in between, the sparring in between, everything that goes into a tournament. I feel like, I've done nearly more than anyone. So I kind of know how it works now. Like I say, although I'm moan about it, I couldn't even imagine going back to, yeah, Brendan, you're going to fight in November, and it's like January. I'd be like, what? I couldn't even imagine what that's like anymore. I'm that in it.
Amazing. All the best, mate.
Thank you.
What's up, Brendan? How you doing, man?
Hey.
I was not preparing to ask this question, but just out of curiosity, we just had a great conversation outside with Jeremy Kennedy, JBC. You seem like you have a good relationship. You probably trained in Thailand together. So for him to be cornering your opponent, Kai Kamaka, in this one, is that a little bit weird, or you keep it professional? Like, what is that kind of like?
None of it's weird at this point.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about footage and camps and all that. Like, listen, there's hours and hours and hours of footage of me on the internet. Like, I've trained with him. I've trained with Jeremy. Jeremy's a good friend of mine. They're all good guys. Everyone I've seen here, I've been around this place for so long now that I see the camps. I get to know Braga's camp and his camp and, Bubba, I'm Dewey and everyone. It's like a little family thing here. Mm-hmm. I don't take anything personal with any of these guys. I only ever had one beef in here, and that was Chris Wade, yeah? Chris Wade's gone now, but apart from that, I'm just high and by to everyone. We're all trying to feed our family, man. At the end of the day, we've all got the same goal. I'm not mad at anyone in here. This is just business on Friday night, and I'll shake his hand and go for a beer with him after.
And we spoke a bit about the schedule, 8 weeks, maybe 12 weeks until the next one. But you're 34 years old, 34 pro fights. Having been through the season format, the playoffs, and everything that comes with it, how much do you feel your experience will factor into this fight against Kai Kamaka, who has 14 less pro fights and hasn't been through the entire season before?
Yeah, I've got more TKOs than he's got wins. We've shared 3 common opponents. I just found that out then. I stopped all 3 of them convincingly. He struggled against Bubba. I thought Bubba won the fight. He lost to Justin, and who was the third one? Pedro. Pedro gave him hell. So if we're doing MMA maths, you know what I mean? I know MMA maths don't really work out, but if we're looking at these fights and we're trying to piece this match up together, that's how I look at it. Mm-hmm. But I still do think he's a great opponent. Let's not take nothing away from him. I've been watching his fights. I think, yeah, you're a good fighter. You're going to make for a very, very good fight on the night. You bring it. I'm a big fan of his cousin or uncle, Ray, whatever he is. I'm a fan of that guy. Yeah. I've been a fan of that guy from day one. He's one of my favourite fighters. I know he hates me right now, but no, I'm one of your favourite fighters. You're one of my favourite fighters. So, listen, like I say, he's a striker. I'm a striker. Let's have a striking match and let's see what happens.
I don't think Ray will be rooting for you this week.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure he respects you and is a fan of yours as well. You spoke a little bit about this, but you've long been a face of the PFL. Though the promotion did bring in a whole new roster of guys over from Bellator. But I feel like you're always in the main event slot. Do you still feel like a face of this company? And do you feel like with that title comes with some responsibilities, maybe setting an example for some of the younger fighters that come in?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I was here before everyone in this room, so I feel like I'm furniture in the PFL right now. Again, when I joined this company, I believed in the vision. I sat down, we're going to do this, and this, and they've way even exceeded where they said it was going to go for the short period of time that they've been here. Proud to be a member of the PFL, proud to be a fighter in the PFL, ambassador, whatever you want to call me. I'm just proud to be a part of this movement.
Mm-hmm. Any prediction for the super fights? I class you as a super fighter myself. So for these super fights, Renan Ferreira and Francis Ngannou, and then Chris Cyborg and Larissa Pacheco, any predictions?
What about the one you've just told me? Has that been released?
Yeah.
That other one?
Oh, no.
Can we not talk about that?
No.
That was a good one, though.
That is a good one.
Just so everyone knows, there's another one that I just got told's happening. That's the one I'm most interested in more than any of these fights. So, yeah.
I specifically did not mention that one. But what about for the heavyweights, Ngannou and Ferreira, and then the female featherweights, Cyborg and Pacheco? Any thoughts?
Amazing. All we need now is to stick Jake Paul and Nate Diaz and then just top it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hearing the other one is. So, I don't know. Great fights, exactly what the PFL needed, great timing, and I'll be I'll be interested in them fights. There's some good fights, like Ngannou and Ferreira. That is an insane fight. What a fight to come back to after the Joshua thing and all that, and all the personal tragedy he's had. What a man, what a warrior. Can't wait to see it.
And the other one's pretty good too, right?
Yeah, of course. That one you mentioned to me. Am I allowed to say it?
No, don't say it.
Is it a secret?
It's a secret. Don't say it. Thank you.
I know secrets, and there's a very good fight on this card.
Thank you.
No worries.
Hey, Brendan, last time we talked, you said you didn't know you were going to miss it until you missed it, being in action. Now that we're just a few days away and you did miss it, how do you feel coming into this fight against Kai?
I definitely missed it, yeah, you're right. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this again. And then I just twiddled my thumbs for like 8 months. I was like, when's the next one starting? Do I want to do it? Don't I want to do it? But when you're in this thing, I feel like it gives you purpose, gets you locked in. Like, I know my year's done. Like, I know the dates I'm fighting. I know it's going to be great competition. I know I'm getting regular paydays on them days. I know everything about my year. Whereas other promotions and before, it's like, oh, you might fight this year. Even speaking to Jeremy outside, he's like, I might fight this year. It might be this date, might be that date. I did so many years of that in my career. Sometimes I went 18 months without a fight. Like, when I signed for this promotion, they said, we're going to give you activity. And wow, they have given me activity and I've embraced it. I've took it all on. I've done great in here. I've only ever lost to the 2 other winners. I lost to Pinedo and I lost to Mob Lead. So I've got a great record up in here. And I'm looking forward to performing again on Friday night.
You've been asked about the pay-per-view cards. How would being on part of those cards, being on the pay-per-view cards, even further cement your legacy, not just with the PFL, but in all that you've done in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be a part of them at some point. I mean, it's going to be a little difficult this year, obviously, but that is my goal, to get on a few of them cards eventually. So we'll see how this all pans out. But listen, I've got a very, very stern task in front of me on Friday, and I'm not looking past that.
And last one for me, there's so much talk about your time here with the PFL. We know you've been here longer than everyone in this room, but when you look at just where you've grown, where the company has grown, with all the great things, there also comes criticism from people outside who don't know what's going on. As someone who does know what's going on, what would be your message to other fighters who may be looking for that new step in their career and possibly join the PFL?
Yeah, good question. There's a few layers to that question as well, really. Like, I just say, listen, I'll tell you from personal experience, this company changed my life, changed my family's life. That's all I can tell you from that perspective. They give me regular competition, world-class competition. They put me on ESPN. Like, what else do you want, really, as a fighter? You want regular paydays, yeah? You want to fight the best. They're putting the best they can in front of me. You want to be on ESPN, the main platform. You want to be in front of the right eyes. You want the main media from the world of MMA here. They're here. So everything's in place for this place. The PFL is doing amazing things, and especially now this card that's just been announced. And a few of the other fights that have not even been named yet are amazing fights. So everyone's really mad at me now. But I'm just hyping this card up. Hey, listen, I'm trying to put bums on seats for you. I heard about this full card and it's amazing. Tune in.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brendan, of course, you mentioned being around here for so many years. I guess when you look at where you were when you signed, I mean, obviously you've been vindicated in the decision, but could you have imagined it, in the best case scenario, could you have imagined it kind of going even this well?
Nah, not really. No, it was a good question. Yeah, it's gone great, hasn't it? I mean, I wouldn't have minded getting that split decision win against Mov Lead and getting that year as well. That would have made it ideal, really. But he did beat me fair and square. But the second world title, like I didn't know I really wanted it until I put that belt on me the other day, and I just felt it, and it said 24 instead of 22, and I was looking at it like, yeah, that's going to look really good next to the 22 one, and I just felt them both on my shoulders, and I thought, yeah, that's the one. So that's the goal. We're nearly there now. We're 2 fights away. I say only 2 fights when really we're only halfway through the season when you think about it, really.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm not counting my chickens. Again, very hard task in Kai, but I've had a great camp and I'm prepared.
I guess the first 2 fights probably the hard. Like this first 3, probably the hardest part of it because you get a decent little break then before the final.
Yeah, I mean, 3 months is like, wow. In the PFL, getting 3 months in between fights, that's like a gift. To a normal fighter, that's a camp. To me, it's a gift. Like, yeah, end of November, so plenty of time. But the first 3 are a slug. Like, 3 back-to-back, 8 weeks, travel, weight cuts, damage, you name it. It all just gets rolled into one thing. And you know what? It's like the camps. They're not really camps.
Yeah.
They're just maintenance. That's where a lot of these
It's like
fighters
one
are
big
going
camp.
wrong. Yeah, it's one big camp. It's a marathon. So you see fighters coming in bust up for listen, I always say to people, let's see where you're at in August. You know, these people that sign up and say, let me see their faces in August because it ain't easy.
When you think of that moment that happened, like obviously you're like kind of famously before you signed with PFL, it was like one of the most famous contender series like mess ups, like one of these like they didn't give you this contract when obviously you'd earned it, maybe not on the night but through your whole career. Did you see this guy the other night? This Finney guy who fought, he's won twice on there, and you seen like Dana just went in on him even though he's won both the fights.
I seen something, but I didn't really get into it like that. But 2 fights. Yeah, that's, I mean, what's the point at that point? Like, what, like, where does that guy go? Like,
Maybe here.
No comment on all that. No comment on all that. Let's leave that one.
But you think, like, it's a bit mad, like, Dana going all nuts with him, isn't it?
I mean,
He kind of the same for you, didn't he?
What's that guy doing? Like, going back twice and again? Is he going again? Or what's the plan for that fella? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
At some point, you have to move on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the whole contender series thing, at the time, I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Turns out now it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, made a fortune. I've made an absolute fortune. I've won a world title at Madison Square Garden. I've changed my family's life. And like I say, at the time, I was like, wow, where do I go from here? PFL wasn't even a thing then. It was like just starting. And it's like, where do you go? Where do I go? And I found a home, and me and the company have just gone like that together. So, but that's why I'm ever grateful to this place. What an amazing place to fight.